Hi, everyone. Hey, Paul the Gregley. Hey, welcome to Facebook. Good morning, everyone. You're going to love this one. So, we're going to start off by saying that, when you really think about it, it's not how many hours you put into school or your job, it's what you get out of the hours that count. And that's a pretty strong statement. So, I'm going to talk about like 4 bullet points that are going to really emphasize really what it takes of going to work. And I understand that there's times that you're not going to want to get up. There are times that you're not going to want to do a certain task at the school or at work. But we really got to push ourselves if we really want to be a champion. Every day is like a canvas, a clean canvas. And we have a brush in our hand. And we have a choice to make it a great opportunity each and every day to make yourself better and better and better. Every day is a day of improvement, if you will. And that's what it takes. We're only in school a short period of time. And by the way, we go to college, we go to high school, and when we get out of college, we think that's our learning is going to stop there. Well, it's not. Our learning is going to continue to grow. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a student every day of my life. And that's probably the most important thing that anybody could ever do, is have that kind of discipline. So let's start by number 1. We're going to talk about attitude. And if you got a great attitude and you got a superior attitude, it draws opportunity. It doesn't push opportunities away. If you have a bad attitude, it certainly will push opportunities away. So attitude and having a great attitude is really very, very important. The second thing, and I don't want to talk about this a lot, but you got to have massive self-discipline. And when I talk about discipline, it's about developing a habit. You don't need self-discipline anymore when you've already developed a great habit. When you develop a great habit, it empowers you, it makes you better, it gives you more of a sound advice to stick to do it every day, whether you want to do it or not. The third would be, time management. And when you really think about it, time management is so crucial. I think we all know we have the same 24 hours. What we do with it is up to us. So it's entirely up to you when it comes to time management. You always can get more money, but you can't get more time. And then lastly would be communication. And if you communicate well in your relationships and you communicate well in the workplace, things will move along for you a lot smoother. And, I'm not saying that communication is all about talking. Sometimes it's about listening, and listening very carefully and clearly and trying to understand the situation. How many of you had an experience before where you actually listened to someone and they said something to you and you kind of took it out of context and you didn't understand what they really were saying? You were kind of confused. There was kind of a mixed message. Well, that's when you got to go back and try to understand and have that individual explain it to you in the best way possible. All right, I think that's it. That's 4 key components. And remember, it's not how many hours you go to school or how many hours you put into work. It's what you put into the hours that really count. Hey, check out our Paul Joseph product line. We're moving in leaps and bounds. You can check out the phone number on the bottom of the screen. You can speak to Lauren about it. She's the Vice President of Sales now in Paul Joseph, doing a remarkable job. And we are growing exponentially, and now we're going to start hitting a lot of the fairs, if you will, throughout the state of Florida. And we're going to make some noise there as well. All right, thanks very much, and share this with as many people as possible. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye-bye now.